I'm really happy to be still, playing and have an opportunity to compete with these guys. Obviously, basketball season is a long season, and to get to this point where not only are you still playing, but you're playing for something that meaningful and playing for each other, and it's pretty neat. So I was really proud of our effort this afternoon, excuse me. But I was even more proud of our fans' effort. Wasn't by far not the best or biggest crowd we've had, but I thought their engagement throughout was really, really good. So I'm thankful for that. And obviously, we'll have another opportunity here. We don't know when yet, but to play at home, and I'm hopeful that we can replicate that.
Is the three-point shooting contagious? It seemed like Bryce got going, that allowed John Michael to go, and then Caleb hit one and Key hit one. Is there some confidence in that?
I don't know. I mean, again, I've watched these kids make shots, and the truth is they have a guy who was MVP of their league that went 0 for 8 today. So it happens, and I think sometimes if it's costing you games, obviously I know it's something you need to address. But the truth is you can only control the kind of shots you get, and at the end of the day, I think we got two guys in Bryce and John Michael and probably Caleb Asbury. They're all shooting in the mid to high 30s from 3-point range. I mean, to say we don't have guys who can shoot is kind of outrageous. But we haven't shot well consistently, and that's the key. And obviously, there's been some key games that not shooting well has cost us. So my answer to your question is it can be, I guess, but I think it's just a matter of continuing to believe in the shots you get. And I thought we got good shots today and took them and made them.
Hadn't taken a ton over this last stretch. He said you guys told him to be a little bit more aggressive in that aspect. Just kind of what did you see from him?
Yeah, I think he passed up some today too. He was 6 for 11, and I think he could have easily got 15 to 17 good threes up. I mean, I'm not talking about just jacking them against highly contested shots. I'm talking about shots that are in rhythm. He shot fake and shot one in one possession after he had made a couple. Like, just shoot it until you miss. If you make a couple, I think that gives you a right to, heat check, right? I mean, it's part of the game. So I was really proud of his aggressiveness, and the shot was there, and obviously it was falling for him today, and we needed it.
You've kind of been looking for that from him. I think we talked about it in Kansas City, that you just needed him to be more aggressive. What did you kind of tell him heading into today's game?
Yeah, and Kansas City's it's a different deal. Playing back-to-back days is hard. I mean, against the level of competition that we're talking about, and not to make an excuse, probably played the team that's playing the best in our league now, right? In that second game on a day's rest over. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into why you don't necessarily play well on a given day, but I thought he was just really focused on just making simple plays. And obviously had a couple charges there late that you kind of scratch your head about because they were unnecessary. But I thought for the most part his floor game was really good.
Tyreek's had a couple back-to-back double-doubles after not having one. Did you kind of know he could maybe hit this gear, or has it come a little bit of a surprise to you?
Yeah, I mean, Tyreek's always had this ability, as part of the evolution of our team, so to speak. There's been so many changes, and a lot of it's affected him probably more than anybody in terms of in and out of the lineup. But I always knew that what he takes pride in is something that is really beneficial to us. But when you need shooting on the floor, and if Caleb's playing well, then he doesn't bring that to the table, right? And there's been games where we've needed shooting out there to space the floor more because, boom, Caleb was playing so well inside, you wanted to play through him, which makes it a little bit more difficult. So I really admire the kid, though, because regardless of whether he was playing, 32 minutes like he did today, or if he was playing, 8 minutes like he's done in some of the Big 12 games, his attitude's been the same. He's all about winning, and we're thankful to have him.
Keon had another good game. What did you kind of see from him out there?
I mean, I think, you guys have been around enough. I mean, you start seeing a guy's confidence grow. Like, he's not questioning himself as much out there. He's playing with a little bit more instincts. And that's encouraging because, as much as people want to talk about how much these games matter, don't matter, or whatever, like that's important. It's important to see a guy like that continue to get better. And, as we transition this thing, the conversation about what's next for him kind of draws back to these moments and seeing that. So still a lot of room to grow there, but his natural ability is starting to shine through a little bit.
Was he the first option on that play that you guys had before the half?
So actually the option was for either John Michael or Bryce Thompson to get a screen in the open floor. And then, again, at that point, as a coach, you really don't have any more control at that point. And then he throws the ball, and the guy's wide open. The ball either goes in or it doesn't. And so he made it, man. I guess I look like a good coach in that situation, but I think it's a good play whether the ball goes in or not. You kind of got to step back and, I never want to remove, the accountability for us to play well from me. It's ultimately my job. But I think coaches get too much credit and too much blame sometimes.
How dangerous is this team when, the offense is clicking like it was today?
Yeah, really what you're talking about is when we're making shots, at the end of the day, because that's what good offense finalizes in, the ball going through the basket. I think what we got to focus on is being the best version of ourselves on the defensive end, no matter what, because we're not going to always make 11 threes. And on nights where we make 5, we still got to find a way to guard well enough to make it hard on the other team to not score. And then you got to get to the free throw line. The only complaint I have today is we turned the ball over unnecessarily against a team that really wasn't pressuring us. And so we kind of had taken care of that a little bit toward the end of the regular season, but it's kind of reared its ugly head a little bit today, but not in a way that it cost us the game. So we need to continue to address that. But to your point, if we're making shots, we're really hard to beat because we are still really, really good defensively. We can – I don't know what it was. I don't know when it was until that last shot that they scored, when they had scored again. I looked up and they were stuck for a long time. And so you guys know better than that. But I think we have the ability, and we've done this against a lot of teams. The best teams we played throughout the season, we've held them for long periods without scoring. And if we can continue to do that, we'll give ourselves a chance to continue to play.
This might be one of the longer teams you guys have faced this year. How do you kind of counter that on more so on the perimeter than inside? Yeah,
there was a concern, right? They were a little bit unorthodox in the sense that their guards posted more than the guards we've played, and more than their bigs posted. And the bigs actually shot more threes and actually initiated offense. So to have our guys be able to digest that and still play with the aggressiveness, I thought that our length and ball pressure really slowed them down and made it hard for them to run a fluid offense and not get as many good looks. And so what we did also was just be able to load up on the backside and help more when they did throw it inside. Because regardless of how much size advantage, if you have a 6'5" guy posting up John Michael and Musa Cisse's on the backside, it's still a little bit more difficult to score in there.
Was BT the guy you called to write the win on the whiteboard?
No, so it's not just making shots, right? When you have 5 turnovers, it's hard to get that pin. So 5 turnovers kind of negated some of the plays he made. But Tyreek was the guy today, and I thought he set a great tone for us. It's really about the energy, the positive energy, not necessarily the things that show up in the stat sheet all the time. But I thought his energy on defense, I thought his energy on the offensive glass really set a great tone for everything else we did today.
How big is he? He's obviously been important over the past couple of weeks, but how crucial is he to you guys getting to Vegas?
It's the next game, right? So we need him to play really well. Obviously, I think the teams that we could play are playing now, so we don't know. And obviously, some of it is opponent-driven. But when you can impact the game without needing the basketball, without having to have plays run for you, that's where you really create value for yourself. Because it's only one ball, and not everybody gets to shoot or whatever, right? And so he does the job that most people don't want to do, and that's why he's as respected as he is in the locker room.
Mike, you just talked about Reek's role changing more than anybody on the team this year, and even with as well as Caleb was playing offensively earlier this year and Musa was playing defensively, does any part of you kind of maybe wish you would have given Reek some starts or 32 minutes earlier in this season? Explored that a little bit?
Not necessarily. I try not to. At the end of the season, to be honest, I'll go back and I'll review it all. and I'll probably kick myself 15 times. We got 15 losses. About one thing I could have done a little bit better. But the truth is, our team has evolved so much. There was an opportunity, right? And we talked about this, and we talked about this with Reek. When Musa gets hurt against West Virginia, we have a 3-game stretch there where he goes into the lineup, and his minutes do go up, and his production goes down. So that wasn't the answer, and that's kind of how Woody became the starter. And then we played better, and then Musa came back, and then it was kind of he was out of the loop a little bit, and then KB was playing really well. We talked about space and floor, so I don't know if I necessarily have any regrets about it, but I certainly will look back and think, if there was a game or so, we could have used a little bit more of his just raw emotional energy to change the trajectory of a game during a specific time.
You guys haven't seen a ton of 1-3-1 this year. Was that something that was on the scout?
Yeah, we worked on it. I mean, I thought our guys again did a really good job of adjusting to because they played multiple defenses. They kind of played a little bit of a box and one there against Bryce there for a possession, and when they I think that was a possession. Q wound up driving in for a shot, but again this time of year, just expect everything because when you don't have a good feeling in the locker room at this point, it's over. Like when you just go home. So you try whatever it is. We've seen them play zone, so we were prepared for it. We got actually the lob dunk for Caleb in the first half on it. We were still able to throw the ball inside because I just think athletically we overwhelmed them in there. So I was proud of the way our guys adjusted to them changing defenses. But again, shot making helps prevent a team from playing too much zone.
With these teams that you're kind of more athletic than, do you expect more changes in different defenses to try and throw you guys off?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to imagine people really changing who they are in the game 35, So I don't know. It depends on the opponent. One thing, we played Sam Houston. If we played North Texas, we haven't played them, so I'll obviously have to study them a little bit more. But I think for the most part, people are who they are at this time of year. And the thing is, you got to be careful if you may have seen something in the conference tournament game or one of these early NIT games that maybe you hadn't seen before. I mean, you got to do a really diligent job, and our staff has done that so far.
How did it feel just to get another win in front of the GIA crowd?
It was awesome. I felt really, really bad about the way we finished our home schedule, to be honest. We lost 3 straight here. And part of it, it was part of that 5-game losing streak. And you always want to have your fans feeling good when they leave here for the last time, and we got another chance to do it. So I'm thankful we got the win today, kind of knock some of that off, and hopefully we have a better crowd even than we did today because we've been on spring break, and I understand a lot of students maybe have been traveling back today, and the early Sunday game is always a little bit more challenging with church and other family obligations. And so hopefully whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday, we get an even better crowd and we can send them out on a really, really positive note.
Does the offense feel any easier with Tyreek out there?
Definitely. I mean, he really, helps kind of. I mean, especially on the rebounds. It's just anytime you put up a good shot, it's I feel like it's a 90% chance. He's gonna get it back, and then he's just great screener and rolls. So he does a lot of things on the offensive end that sometimes goes unnoticed. But us as a team, we kind of realize his impact and his impact for us.
How relieving was today for you to be able to get going the way you did?
That was very relieving. To get out there, make some threes, kind of get it going. It felt good, man. I'm ready for the next game.
When did you kind of know that it was going to be that type of day for you?
I say just after my first couple makes, I got in a rhythm. Then, I was able to, get some space, and my teammates were able to find me. And then, I was just in the rhythm there and just was able to finish it out.
It was kind of a 1-2 punch. Tyreek, you got off, to a hot start, and then Bryce, you kind of followed up. I mean, just really complimented each other.
Yeah, that's just our team. Like, we got a lot of good players. Anybody can have a good night because we just so deep with our talent. So that was just a prime example of that, really.
Tyreek, how much fun are you having right now? It seems like you're playing with a lot of joy.
I'm having a lot of fun, man. I'm just thankful that Coach let me get these minutes that I'm getting, and I can help my team win. I'm just having a lot of fun.
And then Bryce, you guys have struggled from 3 here as of late, but you haven't really taken a ton. What made you be as aggressive as you were today?
That's something the coaches were kind of explaining to me that I need to be shooting more threes because, like you said, I haven't been taking many. I think I maybe took 1 the game before and then maybe 2. So just getting back to that and just taking what they give me, and they were kind of sagging off a little bit, and I was able to kind of get a rhythm and continue it throughout the game.
Tyreek, when the threes are falling, have you found your job inside is a little easier?
Yeah, cause it's hard for people to double me if they knocking down shots like that. So it just kind of keeps everybody out balanced. They don't know what's the next move. So them making threes is big time for real.
Have you guys seen Keon play? He seems more confident in things as of late. What have you guys seen from Keon here lately?
I just think he's just kind of just finding his way, kind of just figuring out, where he can plug himself in to be effective. I mean, last game you see he had a bunch of rebounds and did a lot of the dirty work and had 11 points with it, So he's kind of just finding his rhythm, man. I'm excited for him, and I'm excited to continue to see his confidence grow.
Bryce, at this point in the season, do you learn anything new about this team, or is it you have all the answers about what this group is already?
Pretty much. I mean, but every game is kind of different based on who does what and what we do as a team. I mean, we shot it pretty well today. Tyreek had a great job, bunch of rebounds, blocks. We'll do our usual stuff, but every game can be a little bit different based on how the teams are guarding us.
Tyreek, this is your second straight double-double after not having one before. What has that been like?
It's been exciting, man. Everybody, telling me good job, but really, I'm just having fun. Honestly, I'm just playing my game the best I can play, helping my teammates win, just having fun.
That basket you got right there at the end of the first half, you go 94 feet in 5 seconds and hit that three, that baseline three, Tyreek. What did that do for the team going into the locker room?
It gave us a lot of energy. Coach actually drew that play up, and we executed so well, so that just gave us a whole bunch of life going into the second half.
Bryce, it's probably not. If we look at the past week, it's probably not the outcome that you guys wanted. But through all this, have you learned anything new about yourself?
Just that we can continue to bring it together and go out there and compete no matter what's kind of at stake. I mean, obviously we didn't get to make the tournament, but we're still going out there playing hard, executing the game plan, and just doing everything that we're supposed to do. 'Cause, we have those amazing fans out there coming to see us, man. We got to make sure that we stay on that and we go out there and we have fun and we kind of give them a show.
How much do you guys want to win the NIT?
We want to win it for sure. We feel like it could be sort of a statement, you know what I mean? Because we feel like we should have been in, but we're here now, and we're going to take advantage of our opportunities, and we're going to take it one game at a time, and then we'll see what happens when we get to Vegas.
Is that the motivation? You guys feel like you got snubbed?
Not necessarily. I mean, I don't really want to get into it, but I mean, it would just be good for us to just to play well and finish out the season the right way.
Cool, wrap it up there. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.